Hello, children. Welcome to my story booth. Today I have come up with an interesting story for you from a book. I'm going to read a story to you from this book. And this book, the story is written by Michael Coleman. And there are beautiful pictures inside. You'll see many beautiful pictures drawn. And do you know who has drawn these pictures? His name is Gwyneth Williamson. So the name of the story is Lazy Ozzie. Okay, what can you see here on the cover page? What picture can you see? Yes, you can see a bird and it looks like a baby bird. Hmm. Yes, I also think it is a baby bird and to me it looks like an owlet. Yes. So, can you guess what the story must be all about? Hmm? I think it is about this owlet whose name is Ozzie, and it is a story about Ozzie's laziness. Have you guessed something? Yes, if you have guessed about the story, keep that in your mind, and then after we read the story, you check out if your guess was right. Okay, are you ready for the story now? Okay, so I can see this owlet who is nicely resting and doesn't look like doing any work, right? No wonder it is a lazy owl. So let's see. Mm, oh, I can see this wonderful picture of farm animals. Yes, I can see a horse, I can see a cow, I can see a pig. And guess what? I can see this little Uzi sitting on Piggy's back and writing. It is riding on Piggy's back. No wonder it is lazy. It is not flying. Hmm? Okay, let's see. Ah, look at this beautiful picture where there are so many cows in the farm. They are grazing, and I can see a pigsty. There are pigs in the pigsty. Then there are sheep. They are also grazing. And here is a pond where I can see so many ducklings and the mother duck. And here there is a nest with baby birds. Must be the Uzi's nest, right? Okay, let's see. So, we are going to read the story of Lazy Uzi by Michael Coleman, and the illustrations are by Gwyneth Williamson. And this book was printed in London at Little Tiger Press. Okay, so now here we go. Are you ready? Okay, so Uzi was a very lazy owl. See how it is yawning and just being lazy. Yes, so Uzi was a very lazy owl. It's time you tried to fly, said Mother Owl. So, it's time you tried to fly, said Mother Owl one day. But Uzi just said, "Oh, do I have to?" Uzi didn't fancy flying one little bit. It seemed much too much hard work. All that wing flapping, he just wanted to sit around all day. "I am practicing being wise," he said. "Well, I want you to fly," said Mother Owl sternly. "Now I am going off to look for some food, and if you are wise, you will be on the ground by the time I come back," said Mother Owl. Uzi thought hard. If he was wise, then he should be able to think of a way of getting down to the ground without flying. Suddenly, he noticed the horse who lived in their barn. The horse head came up almost as high as the beam Uzi was sitting on. Uzi had an idea. "Help! Help!" yelled. He yelled. He said, "Help! Help! What's the matter with you then?" asked the high horse. "It's an emergency," shouted Ozzie, jumping onto high horse's back. So Ozzie said it's an emergency and it jumped down from the beam to the high horse's back. "Take me to the cowshed," it said. So the high horse took Ozzie to the cowshed. In the cowshed, there lived a cow who wasn't quite as high as the horse. "It's an emergency," cried Ozzie, jumping on to the not quite so high cow's back. So from high horse's back to not so quite high cow's back, he jumped and said, "Take me to the pigsty." So the high horse and the not quite so high cow took Ozzie to pigsty. In the pigsty, there lived a big pig. It's an emergency," cried Ozzie, jumping onto the big pig's back. "Take me to the farmyard," he said. "Take me to the farmyard. It's an emergency." Now, so the high horse, the not quite so high cow, and the big pig took Ozzie to the farmyard. Now, in the farmyard, there lived a sheepdog. The sheepdog wasn't as tall as the big pig. He was a short sheepdog. "It's an emergency," cried Ozzie, jumping on to the short sheepdog's back. So from big pig's back, it jumped down to the sheepdog's back. "Take me to the big field," he shouted again. Ozzie. So the high horse, the not quite so high cow, the big pig, and the short sheepdog took Ozzie to the big field. In the big field, there lived a little lamb. "It's an emergency," cried Ozzie, jumping onto the little lamb's back. Now, from sheepdog's back, he jumped onto the little lamb's back. "Take me to the duck pond," he again shouted. "Take me to the duck pond. It is an emergency." So the high horse, the not quite so high cow, the big pig, the short sheepdog, and the little lamb took Ozzie to the duck pond. In the duck pond, there lived a diddy duck. "It's an emergency," said Ozzie, jumping onto Diddy Duck's back. From little lamb's back, he jumped on the Diddy Duck's back. "Take me to the barn," he said. So barn is where he lived with his mama. So he said, "Take me to the barn." Now, the high horse, the not quite so high cow, the big pig, the short sheepdog, and a little lamb, and the diddy duck took Ozzie back to the barn. So they went back to the barn. As soon as they got there, Ozzie hopped from the diddy duck's back down to the ground. "He's done it. Now that's what you call being wise," he told himself. So what did Ozzie say to himself? He said, "That's what you call being wise." So he thought he's very smart. He just did not fly, but he still came down on the ground with the help of all these animals. "So where's the emergency?" asked High Horse. After reaching the barn, all the animals were curious. They wanted to know what was the emergency. So High Horse asked, "So where's the emergency?" "Ah," said Ozzie, "I was only joking. What a hoot." "Ah," he said. The high horse, the not quite so high cow, the big pig, The short sheepdog and the little lamb and the Didi duck weren't amused. They were not happy. They were not amused by this joke of Ozzie's. They went away grumbling. But Ozzie was pleased. Ozzie was pleased. He his plan had worked. He was very happy. His plan had worked. So what if they were not happy? He was very pleased. His plan had worked. He was pretty wise already, he thought. Now, what happened? Now Mama has come back. I flew all the way down, he said to Mother Owl. What did he say? I flew all the way down, he said to Mother Owl when she came back. Mother Owl gave a big smile. Well done, son, she said. Ozzie thought she was pleased with him. But he didn't know she's been watching all the time. So Mama was watching Ozzie do all his tricks with his friends here. So Mama has seen how Ozzie came down on the ground and she knew he did not fly. Now, so what did Mama do? She said, now let me see you fly back up again. Let me see you fly back up again, said Mother Owl. Now Mother Owl knew how will he fly back? Since he did not fly down to the ground, he will not know how to fly back. Now Ozzie was caught. So children, what do we learn from this? You cannot get away being lazy, right? You have to be working hard. You have to learn what you should learn all the time, and you must listen to your mama, right? So I'm sure you must be busy reading stories with your mummy daddy also. Did you like this story? Yes? So I hope you have enjoyed this story, and now you have so much time with your mummy and daddy. You can read so many more storybooks with your mummy and daddy, right? Okay. Thank you children for watching.